So I just wanted to do a video on my Evolution skid plate. I just don't like having enough airflow through my motor. You guys probably aware of that if you saw my other videos. You don't want too much air. You don't want to cool your oil down to the point where it's not functioning properly. I believe it's about 185 degrees that oil starts to function properly. But your glow plugs will supplement, in my opinion. Preheater assembly glow plugs will supplement and add some heat to the engine if you need it. And then of course you got your thermostat. I'm running a hotter thermostat. You can see 195 degrees. So my main concern, I can't talk today, is to get the temperature down between the firewall and the engine. And I noticed on my skid plate that when I removed it I ran cooler, which makes sense. But anyway, so what I've done here on this, I've put 3/8 inch holes all across the front. This would be the front, this is the rear, and when you drill your holes you got to drill them in at the 90-degree angle to the material, and then you come down from the back side, you come down and straighten them out, so you got like a volute type thing going on here, right? So I drilled them from this side straight in, and then came on the back side and drilled them straight as close to the face of the plate as I could to make this design. So the air will come through instead of shooting straight up. It'll shoot this way. And this is to pick up any water that comes into the plate. But I was looking down on the plate through the engine from the top and noticed that there's no air vents going through for the turbo. And as you know, I put my hood scoop on here to cool the turbo down. And I want air to go through that firewall. So I took a hole saw and marked these out and staggered them a little bit, and hopefully that'll help. Eventually I'm going to do a fan on the firewall, a cross-flow fan to thermostatically controlled to blow air down on the turbo through those. That's my goal. So this is primed with self-etching primer. It was cleaned, sanded first, it was etched with vinegar, if you want to call it etching. I cleaned it with vinegar, and then I use the primer, self-etching primer, and this is epoxy paint. The reason why I use white is because I want to see if there's any oil leaks on anything. Excuse me, pollens are killing me. So if there's any oil leaks at all, I want to know about it. So if this pan ever has a drip on it, I'm tracking it down. I'm not going to ignore my oil leaks ever again, because if I had paid closer attention to my transmission leaking ever so slightly on the drive shaft, I probably could have prevented a failure, possibly. But that's a long story. I'll be doing a final video on this car. I know I keep saying that, but I'll do the final video when I get all the bugs worked out of this car, and I can say definitively what I had to go through to get this car to run properly, in my opinion, right? So hopefully this helps some people out. I like these skid plates. If I had to do it over again, I'd do the Panzer. That's just me, because it's got the side skirts that are fully enveloping the engine. And if I were to do this again, like I said, I'd do the Panzer. And anyway, hopefully that helps somebody out. When you install these, you want to, of course, start them by hand, all four, and then your nylon washers go on between the body and the plate, and then there's your lock washer and your regular washer, your fender washer, your lock washer go like this, right? Your smaller bolts go up in the front, your larger, longer bolts go in the back. And then of course you have to have this mounting bracket here. You see that blue thing? So I bought the plate used, right? And the guys tell me, you don't need anything, that's all you need. And I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. So I got a good deal on a plate, like 75 bucks. But then I went down and bought the mounting hardware in these plates for 75 bucks. So I got 150 bucks into this plate. I think they're like 300 bucks. But like I said, if I were to do it again, I would just cough up the money and get a Panzer. But this works for what I'm doing. So hopefully that helps some people out. Yeah, have a good 4th of July, by the way. I'm going to wrap this up and get out of here and go watch some fireworks. All right, take care.